The fifth and final episode of our Money Mistakes series, specifically as it relates to young professionals. And I think this one's probably the most important, falling into the trap of trying to keep up with everyone else. They hate social media, all those sorts of things. But when it comes to making financial decisions, it's terrible because one, the ads in and of themselves make you want to shop. So that's a totally other point. But when you think about social media, you're looking at everybody's highlight reels. And then you get into the comparison games. And for many reasons other than money, and what I by this, and this is probably a like very old statistic by now, but I remember when I was first getting into the financial advising industry, they said that the most common car of millionaires was a Ford F-150. And if you take that like on its surface, some people might think that it would be and a Ford F-150 is nice, but some people might think it'd be something fancier like a Porsche or whatever it may be. And I think what I really took away from that statistic, and what I've also taken away from the select families that we serve at Raleigh Wealth Solutions, is that people who have like real money and real financial freedom in terms of they're not shackled by debt, they really feel like they can do the things that they want and money's not stressing them out. Those people, which I don't know about you, but that would be what I aspire to be. Those people actually don't have the fanciest thing or the most up to date car. They probably have bought their car in cash. At the point that they retire, they probably paid their house off, but I know most young professionals aren't going to have their house paid off. They responsibly control their debt. If they can't afford something, big purchases like a car in cash, then they don't buy it. And it's those decisions compounded over time that create real financial freedom, not trying to create the next post or do the most exciting trip or buy the nicest car or the nicest bag or the nicest shoes to make it look like you have more money. And I do think that's really important as a generation for our younger professionals to understand, is that true money and financial security is not in the things that you flaunt from a material perspective. It's feeling secure in the sense that you can afford your lifestyle and you're not stressed out every day because you feel like you owe somebody something. And those types of things in the day and age of social media aren't super sexy and they're not super exciting and they don't make for a great Instagram post, but it is very real. And based on my experience sitting down with the families that we serve, it it's worth it. The confidence that these people feel and the money that they have because they've made disciplined decisions over time. They've put their blinders on and not really compared themselves to the people next to them. And they've just focused on running a responsible household and doing what they could do, paying themselves first, putting money away before they bought things, investing in their 401ks, even if it's a little bit, putting money aside, all the other things that we talk about on Mondays with Michaela. That is true financial freedom. And I don't think that you can put a price tag on that. So there's a price tag on a lot of material things, and there's not a price tag on true financial freedom. So if I could leave you with one bit of advice, maybe the most important thing from this series of Mondays with Michaela for money mistakes, it would be don't get caught up in the comparison game and just focus on making the disciplined decisions every day of paying yourself first. And you'll get to the point where you can make some of those more splurge purchases and those sorts of things over time. But it doesn't all have to happen in your 20s and 30s. And for most people, I think in our country and most people that we serve, a lot of those big splurge experiences don't come until your 40s or even your 50s or your 60s, but it's because they come after a lifetime of making small sacrifices to get to that. And I understand that there's a balance of wanting things now versus saving for later. And I think that social media has really skewed what's truly important now and can potentially make people a little bit greedy and hasty in the current time. So that would just be my advice, is don't get caught up in the social media, and know that making the responsible decisions day in and day out really do compound and pay off. All right, guys, we'll talk next week with a brand new series. Bye.